You're listening to Bleeding Blue, a sit-down podcast with Exeter's athletes. Just a quick note before we start. This was filmed before the Governor Mifflin and Ben Blozier meet, so Exeter is now 7-2 overall. Welcome back to Bleeding Blue. I'm Adam Cooke, and I'm joined by Chase Choudhry, an all-county runner in both cross-country and track. He's also a really good friend of mine, so I'm glad to have him on. How are you today, Chase?
I'm doing great, Adam.
Can you give yourself a little introduction?
Yeah, I'm Chase Choudhry. A junior this year. I do track and cross country. This past year in the spring, I was the county champion for the mile in track, and I was the runner-up in the 3200. And then for cross country last season, I was fourth in the county.
So you guys are 5-1 for cross country. How you feeling about that?
I mean, it feels good. We haven't really played any of our division rivals yet, like the bigger schools, but it feels good. I mean, everyone looks good. Everyone's fast. Personally, I'm just feeling strong, and I'm excited for our next month, really.
And that one loss was to Wyomissing at Wyomissing. What was it like playing them?
Yeah, that was a big game. The home course advantage, knowing the course is big in cross country. So if you're running it every day, you're definitely going to do better. But I think we can beat them when it matters later on in the season because we weren't that far behind. It was just, I think we lost by 2 or 3 points. So we're right there.
And you guys have your home meet coming up October 2nd, I think?
I think so. It's the first and the second.
Is that exciting to you?
Yeah, that's exciting. We have 2 good teams coming, Twin Valley and Weiser. So
Nice.
hopefully we'll be able to come out with some wins there and just beat some good teams. Yeah.
In your first 2 cross-country seasons, you were named All-County, placed top 10, won 2 team championships. So how proud of you were you of those early accomplishments?
Yeah, I'm really happy for those. It's definitely fun. Like, I had Nate Wentling and Slater there Slater was there for both of those seasons. And it was just fun being able to train with him and the rest of the guys. And we also won the team championship those 2 years. So that was the big thing because, you run with those guys every day for basically an hour every day you're running. So you spend a lot of time with them and you make great bonds. So when you actually perform well at the end of the season, it really means a lot.
How important were some of those guys like Slater or Nate Wentling in shaping you as an underclassman?
Yeah, I think they were definitely a big part. I spent a lot of time with them, and I think running is different from other sports because, it's basically it's you versus you. Like, it's all about yourself basically, and having someone else that's right there next to you, it really makes it feel a lot different. It makes it feel like you're pushing against someone else other than yourself, and I think it brought us both to new heights. Yeah.
And what about Todd, cross-country coach for the
yeah.
boys, and how has he impacted you?
I think Todd has been a great influence. He's been a big impact in my life because, you see him every day at lunch, you see him around the hallways, so you can talk cross country with him, you can talk track with him, and he's just a good guy all around, very well-rounded guy. He's always doing what's right, and he's very motivational too when it matters.
And he doesn't do track coaching, does he?
He helps out a little bit, but that's not his main thing.
Who are the main coaches?
Main coaches, well, for distance, so, track's broken down into more, different events. So for the distance coaches, Coach Holbrook, Jason Holbrook, and then we just got the new science teacher, Coach Farizzi. I don't know if he's going to do track yet, but he's the cross-country coach now. Nice. And we also got Coach Larson. He's not too, he's like an older guy, yeah.
In track, since you guys are separated not only by gender but by those different events, how do you guys interact with each other, and is there any separation, or are you all still pretty close?
I think it's definitely different than cross country, and it's definitely different than any other sport because, when you're practicing with the people that do the same events as you. So you're definitely very close to the people that do the same events as you, and the other people like sprinters or throwers, you know them, but you're friends with them too, and you see them at the meets, but I wouldn't say you're super close to them. But you definitely, you see those people, and when you're trying to score points for the team. You see them and you see what they're doing, and you say, "Wow, like I want to contribute too," and you give your best effort.
Do you like track, like how it's
Mm.
huge, like the team's
Hmm.
got hundreds of
Yeah,
people, or do you like cross country, which is a little smaller?
that's an interesting question. I think I like track races more because I mean you go a lot faster and they're done quicker for sure. And but I think I like the team aspect of cross country more because it's really just the people that you're being with every day, and we get really close to those guys because every day basically you're with them. So
Do you have a preference between both the distances that you do in track?
track, I would say the mile is probably more fun because it can be really tactical and there's a lot of great competition in the county, but I'm definitely better at the 2 mile, and sometimes it's fun to just be up there in the front and have a good race and have a good time.
Why do you like doing longer distances opposed to shorter ones?
Um, I would say it's just I was never really good at the short distance. Like from the first time I started running, my parents are distance runners, so my dad has done like ultra marathons, my mom's done marathons, so they were runners and they signed me up for cross country, and so that was the first thing, cross country, which is longer than track, obviously. So I was in the long distance then, and then when track came, it was like, well, you might as well stick to the longer stuff because I wasn't too bad at cross country. So yeah.
And what do you think makes you such a good runner, besides
Mhm.
obviously how your parents shaped you? Is there anything that makes you quick or gives you endurance?
Yeah, definitely mindset's a big one. Um, I'd like to think that I'm very dedicated. I do what coach says. Sometimes you're running 2 times a day, in the gym 3 times a week, maybe four, and you're basically running every day, especially over the summer. And so it can get tough mentally, so you got to stay dedicated and disciplined. Um, but I don't know, yeah, you just gotta have dedication. I think that separates me from other
And
people.
what do you think's more important, natural ability or the amount of work that you put in for running?
Mm. I mean, obviously, any sport, your natural ability is gonna start you off higher than someone else. But over time, especially over 4 years of high school, I think your dedication and the work that you put in definitely pays off more. Because if you're there every day for any sport, you're gonna get better and you're gonna see improvements.
Would you say that age and what grade you're in is a major factor when it comes to leading and being higher in the standings?
Yeah. I think age definitely plays a role because I mean, running is basically just sheer ability. So if you're older, you'll be stronger and you'll have more cardiovascular endurance and stuff. So the 4 years of a senior versus a freshman is definitely gonna affect that. Yeah.
So, what growth do you think you've had from start of freshman year to
Mm,
now? And then where are you looking to be by the end of your senior year?
mhm. Well, physically, I've put on like 5 or 6 pounds of muscle, and I've gained almost like 15 to 20 pounds. So I've also gotten taller too. So physically, I've gotten a lot bigger. And mentally, I think my mindset has definitely shifted from just go out there and prove yourself to, I mean, you've proven yourself, now you got to perform. And so I try to make sure that I perform every race and I do my best. And yeah, the times have also been getting better. Like my times have been going down pretty consistently. So that's definitely that's the fun part. Yeah.
When you're going into a race, whether it's for cross country or track, what's going through your head pre-game, and
Mm,
what are some of the routines that help you perform better when it's go time?
yeah. Pre-game, definitely. I'm just thinking I gotta lock in. I'm thinking this is gonna hurt, but you gotta push through it, and you'll get through it. You gotta think of the other guys that are out there. They're going through just as much pain, so that you and the rest of the guys can win. So you just gotta do it for each other. You know, and and then I just like to compete too. Like I see a guy next to me, I don't want to lose to him. So that's another big thing. Pre-game, we have about an hour long warm up routine So it's a light jog and then some stretching and dynamic stretching, and then a little bit of faster paced run before the race. And I like to listen to worship music before the race because I think that um, my identity in Jesus is a big part of me. And then say a prayer before the race and do a few quick sprints, and then you're on the line and it's go time.
So one of your teammates that you're pushing this year is your brother Caden, who's a freshman now.
Yeah.
So what's it like having him on the team with you?
Yeah, it's definitely different. You know, like you go to practice, it's like, oh, Caden's coming with. It's like, oh, this is great. But yeah, I mean, I think at practice it's just the same as any other teammate. But when you go home, you know, you do the same stuff, you eat the same food, and you're like, all right, like we're basically the same now.
And you were talking about like religion and how that plays into sports. So what would you say, how important is religion to you and how does it push you to be better?
Yeah, to me, I mean, that's a big part of me. I was raised to believe in Jesus Christ. So I thank him and I give him praise for all this work because without him, you know, none of this would be possible. So yeah, before the race, I like to say a prayer. Our team usually says a prayer together, just praying for good health and a good result and no one to get injured. And I think it's just given me the ability to just keep pushing forward, like no matter what stops me, like because I've had some bad races, and you know, like at the end of the day, running isn't everything, and my religion and my faith in Jesus is on top of everything. That's how I put it.
All right. We're going to do some rapid fire questions.
Oh, all
Just
right.
name off something. I'm going to ask you stuff. So, Wawa or Sheets?
Wawa.
Favorite teacher?
Oh, Mr. Herman.
Favorite school to run at?
School to run at? I gotta say Big Spring High School. That's like a few hours away, but that's where our district race is, so I really like that.
And you guys going? You guys are going there this week, right?
Yeah, this Saturday, yeah.
Nice.
So that'll be a good big one.
Favorite musicians?
Musician, I like Zach Bryan and Dylan Gossett.
So country
music,
country's
yeah.
thing, nice. Favorite professional sport to watch?
Professional sport to watch? Probably football. I like hockey too, but football's definitely up there, yeah.
And you used to play hockey, right?
Yeah, hockey was my main thing. I played in like a rec league this summer and it was a lot of fun.
Oh,
So,
nice.
yeah.
So how much time does that take up, or is it kind of just something you do for fun?
That was just for fun over the summer.
That's nice.
I'm a hockey referee now though.
Oh,
so
nice.
On the weekends I pick up like youth games, and so that's really fun because I get to go out and skate and stuff.
What is it like being a hockey ref, like skating around the ice and stuff?
I think it's awesome because it's a bunch of little kids and they're all running into each other, so it's kind of hard not to laugh sometimes. But it pays really well, and I think it's fun because I don't get to play anymore, so I get to go out and skate and yeah, just watch everybody.
Does Caden still play?
Yeah, Caden plays on a pretty good team, so
oh, nice.
Him and my sister, they both play travel. So
are they gonna play for the? I know Exeter doesn't have a team, but they have like the combined co-op.
Yeah,
one.
I don't think Caden's playing it this year because he's a little too small. He would get destroyed. But I think next year, or maybe his junior year, he'll start playing. Yeah, my dad doesn't want him to get killed.
How else have your family members shaped you and been able to push you?
Yeah, my family is definitely a huge part. My mom is, you know, she's always making me nutritious food, and she's always keeping me motivated. You know, stay up. They always tell me stay up on your schoolwork. So my mom and my dad are always pushing that first. But yeah, they've both been super supportive, and my dad's like always talking to me about it, and he asks me how my stuff is going, and they're always there at the races too, which is a big part. You know, you can't. Cross country is weird because like you can't really watch the whole thing because you're running 3 miles. But when you like see them off on the side when you run past them, it's a lot of motivation.
How much running do you do outside of school? Like, how many times a week would you say you're just out running?
Well, really, over the summer, sometimes over the summer we have practice in the morning for cross country. So that's usually about 8 or 9 miles. And then maybe 2 or 3 times a week over the summer, I'll run at night, like in the evening, and I'll just do 3 miles, so something lighter. And then, but yeah, it's really all like what coach prescribes, so it's not really on your own. So I'm not like just gonna be out running. But
do you prefer like casual or competitive running?
Um, Definitely competitive.
That's nice.
Yeah, I like competing. It does kind of suck sometimes because it hurts so bad, but it's definitely fun to compete. Like I like winning and I like just pushing myself as far as I can.
Now, if you end up not getting the place you want when you're competing, how are you able to deal with that loss and move forward with it?
Yeah, sometimes it's tough because the past 2 years at the district race, I've like the first year I had to go to the hospital because I collapsed, so that wasn't good. That was really hard to come back from. But I think the thing that I pulled away was like at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Like
Mhm.
school, like that's what my parents have instilled in me. They've instilled that school comes first. Well, God, family, school, and then sports and whatever else you're doing.
Yeah,
So as long as school's okay, your sport, it doesn't really matter.
yeah.
So I think that's just allowed me to go past because like I can just forget about something. If it's bad, it's bad. If it's good, you take that high and you keep it. But if it's bad, just throw it away. Like you don't need to remember that.
Mhm. How have you been able to balance your time with school and everything
hmm
else in your life? Have you ever struggled with it, or have you able to
Um,
tackle it easily?
I honestly I've been pretty good with it. My thing is like usually I don't procrastinate like at all.
That's good.
And so as soon as I get something, I'm trying to do it that first night. And if it's like a big thing, I'll try to do it like way before the due date because I don't like having it like creep up on me. And um yeah, just as soon as I get home, try to knock everything out and then I'll eat dinner and stuff and then I'll relax. So I think work before play. That's kind of my mindset.
And you've pushed yourself with some harder classes. I
hmm
know AP Gov, AP Calc. Are you in
Yeah.
AP Chem?
No, that was a little out of my range.
But you did do AP Bio, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So how important is it to push yourself academically?
Yeah, I think that's probably the biggest thing because sports are only going to take you so far in life, and your academics is what's really going to carry you. But even if you don't take the hard classes, it's kind of like, why would you not take them if you're capable of it? Because the school offers these great classes where you can get college credit. So I just think, why not take them?
Yeah. And what would you say is your biggest accomplishment academically and athletically?
Ooh. Academically, I got a 5 on the AP Human Geography test, and I got a 5 on the AP Bio test. So I'm very proud of that.
Nice.
I think my GPA is like a 98. Maybe no, I think it's lower than that. Maybe like
Nice.
96, 97.
Mhm.
So that'd be a 4.0. And then yeah, that's that's academic. And then athletically, um, I just think my PRs are pretty good. So the mile is 4:21, the 2 mile is 9:14, and then my 5K is 15:30. So I have the school record for the 2 mile and the 5K.
Nice. And what does that mean to you to be like one of
Yeah.
the guys in Exeter's history?
I think it's just kind of crazy to like look back at everything. Like when you like even when you're like at the grocery store or something, you're like, I'm the fastest person to run this that's ever come out of Exeter. And it's I just when I think about it like that, it's insane.
Especially when you've done it in your first 2 years.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah, that's awesome. And do you think you'll be running for the rest of your life? Say just when you're an
Um,
adult, you'll be at a marathon or something.
I don't know. Like it's enjoyable now because I have friends and stuff, but I don't think after college I'm gonna keep running. I think because hockey, I really like hockey, so
Hmm,
I think I want to play like some rec league, and I picked up golf a little bit too, and
nice.
I like I like playing that with the guys, so that's always fun.
And speaking of college, do you look to play in college, and have you
Yeah,
done anything with recruitment so
yeah.
far?
I've been sending out emails, and I've had a few calls so far, so I'm looking forward to continuing in college. Hopefully,
That's
everything goes
nice.
according to plan.
Uh, what expectations or goals do you have right now for this season? Some goals individually and as a team.
Yeah, so as a team, we're definitely looking to four-peat in the county.
For Pete.
That's that seems crazy to say, but it's doable. It's very doable, and we have a good team. We work hard every day, so we're just waiting to have a breakout. And I think we're gonna have a big year. Uh, I think we want to make it to the state meet too. That's not looking too probable right now, but I know our coach he has us peaking towards the end of the season, so we can be hopeful and we can just keep working hard and trust him. And then individually, I want to win the county meet and get top 5 at the district meet, and then get a state medal. So top 25 in the state. Those are my
Nice.
goals.
And who are some of the teams that you think are going to be the most important to beat? Some of the guys that put the most in your way.
Definitely. Mifflin and Twin Valley are always good. I think us three, we're the big three in the county, so we're always up there. And then Y Missing looks really good this year, and Connor Weiser looks pretty good too. So
nice.
yeah.
So when you're talking about your goals, you're talking about district meets, and you said those didn't go good.
Yeah.
What do you think you're gonna do this year that can help you improve your times? And
I don't really know, because the first two were kind of just like, the first one I kind of like overexerted myself, so I was like so locked in, and I would just went over. And then last year, I don't really know what happened. I think the heat got to me. So I'm just gonna have to really focus, and I think the big thing is gonna be not getting like worked up about it, because I know the results that I've had in the past, so I need to just keep that out of my head and focus and run it like any other race.
And that collapse, that wasn't a long-term issue, was it?
No, I had to go to the doctor a bunch to like make sure it wasn't my heart and anything, but they found that it was nothing. So
that's good.
They concluded that it was like dehydration, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I think it was overexertion. That's what I said.
What has it meant for you to be part of Exeter, play with the teams, be in this community, and bleed blue?
Yeah, I mean, I like how you said that. I love bleeding blue. I love Exeter. I think it's an awesome place to live. I love the school. I love the people here, and I just think it's an honor to be able to represent on such high stages too, like the district and the state meet.
All right. Is there anything else you want to add on today?
No, just thank you for having me, Adam. I think this is great, and I love your media stuff.
Thank you. Good luck the rest of the season. I hope to see you beat your PRs and the stuff you've broken for Exeter. It's really impressive what you've done. So I'm glad to be your friend and always get to watch you. So
thank you.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you, Adam.
I want to give a huge thanks to Chase for coming on the show and to everyone for tuning in today. Check out the description for other episodes of Bleeding Blue, my website, social media, and applications to be on the podcast in the future. Thank you for supporting local journalism with Bleeding Blue. This is Adam signing off.